everybody, welcome back. A few videos ago I announced that I was trying to sell my 2020 Dodge Charger Hellcat wide body in order to purchase a 21 Hellcat red eye wide body, and I failed in that endeavor. I wasn't quick enough on the draw. Basically, I couldn't get my car sold fast enough, and the red eye sold within just a few days. When that red eye sold, it pretty much ended any active intent of selling my current Hellcat wide body. I figured I would just hold on to it for a while longer and see what happens down the road. But I didn't end up taking my ad down. I figured I'd already paid for the ad. I might as well leave it up and see what happens. And I also had put in a Kelley Blue Book instant offer, which basically it'll send your car out to dealers in the area, and dealers can contact you and try to negotiate a lower price, or some of them will offer a higher price. I know the Kelley Blue Book instant offer was only $68, but most of the dealers who reached out to me offered more than that. And the day after that Hellcat red eye wide body sold, I had a dealer from about 2 hours away reach out to me, and they actually gave me the best offer that I'd received to that point. Now, if I was just going to sell my car, I wouldn't accept that offer. It would have to be higher. But they wanted me to, they wanted to find out my interest in trading my car towards a TRX. And that's actually was kind of, that piqued my interest. That was intriguing to me, being that last June when I purchased this car, this was my second choice. I was actually chasing a TRX, and the TRX had sold before I had a chance to buy it, and I ended up with this Charger instead. So we went back and forth for a couple of days. They had a TRX that was in transit. It hadn't arrived to the dealer lot yet, and it was actually exactly what I'm looking for in a TRX. It's a mid-level TRX, 85K. That's about what I want to spend on one. I don't want to go over that. It has remote start, heated and ventilated seats. You know, it's a mid-level package. I'm not looking to spend $95,000 on a TRX because I have my jailbreak coming. I already have the Hellcat Durango. The TRX would not be a daily driver car, so I don't need every option available on that car. I simply wanted something a little more than what I had on my TRX when I bought mine last year, and mine was pretty much the base model. It didn't have many features at all. So we went back and forth for a few days, and the rep that reached out to me gave me an offer that I would find acceptable to trade towards that TRX. So my next question would be, are there going to be markups? And I didn't hear anything back for about, I'd say 16, 20 hours. That message was sent late one evening, and I didn't hear back till mid-afternoon the next day. I was at work, and I looked at my phone, and she said, yes, there would be markup on it. And it took me another day to find out what that markup would be. That rep finally reached back out to me, and we went back and forth for probably about 3 or 4 days. We had the number for my car nailed down, which I would have taken gladly to trade towards this TRX. And then she came back to me with the markup number, which was $10,000. So essentially, with markup, I would be buying an $85,000 truck for $95,000, and it's a 21, not a 22. Now, I don't really care if it's a 21 or a 22. They made pretty much no changes from the 21 model to the 22 model that I would find, you know, necessary to just get a 22. I would gladly buy a 21 if it were available to me. But I rejected the offer out of principle on paying the markup. Now, this experience was extremely pleasant. I have nothing negative to say about this dealership. They're going to make every nickel they can. Wasn't going to argue against that. Someone will pay that markup, and I don't doubt that at all, but I'm not that person. One of the first car videos I made last year before I even bought my TRX was, don't buy a TRX if you're having to pay a markup. And I know that there are going to be a lot of people out there that are going to pay that markup. It's a competitive market. And there are a lot of dealers out there that will mark the truck up, and they'll still get what they're looking to get out of it. And I can't argue against it. I don't have any groundbreaking statement to make against paying a markup or charging a markup, but I have to stand on my principle that I'm not going to pay more than what the car is actually worth. I did it one time with my Charger that I'm currently sitting in now, and one of the reasons why I'm having such a difficult time selling this car and getting what I need to get out of it is because I overpaid for the car, and that's a lesson I learned. When I bought this car, it was a year old, it had 7,000 miles on it, and I paid $87,000 for the car. Original MSRP on this car was only $84,000, and that was brand new. So with the car being a year old and 7,000 miles on it, I paid $3,000 more than what it was originally worth, and I'm paying for that now. I owe $69,000 on the car. So if I were to trade it for what the local Dodge dealership offered me, I'd be losing $17,000. And that's what's going to happen if I paid $10,000 above retail for this T-Rex. These folks running around that are paying, you know, 10, 15, 20, and even more than that in markups, if they ever want to sell that truck, you're gonna eat a lot of loss. It's just gonna happen. Now, because it's a T-Rex, you're not gonna eat as much as if it was any other car, but you know, it is what it is with these markups. That's artificial inflation. That there's nothing to be gained by paying the extra money. Now, if you have the extra money and you just don't care, absolutely go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to do that at all. But you know, the time is going to come for a lot of people, including myself, where I want to move on to something else. And you know, that $10,000 markup, you're not going to pass that on to the next person unless that person also wants to overpay. And I can tell you this: when I sold my TRX, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, even though the demand was through the roof. A dealer ended up buying it, and I still made a little bit of money, but I didn't pay a markup at all. Had I paid a markup, I would have lost my shirt when I was trying to chase that Hellcat Durango that I bought after I sold my TRX. I have a whole video that I've been writing for about 2 weeks now on the current car market, paying markups, paying above MSRP, and what the car market is about to do in the next calendar year when all this markup stuff and all this supply and demand stuff shifts back the other direction. So I don't want to go into too much detail on this video right now, and I want to keep this video as short as possible. But I will say I was tempted by the offer. I wanted to take the chance to get another TRX. It was black, and that's exactly what I want, is a black TRX. Just couldn't do it with the markup. I'll stand by what I say to folks. If you're going to be charged a $10,000 or higher markup, don't do it. If it was a $5,000 markup, I would have had to consider it. I wouldn't have liked it, but I probably would have considered it. But $10,000 above MSRP, I just couldn't do it. My local Dodge dealer, they don't charge markups on Hellcat vehicles, and so I'm just going to keep being patient. And I may end up, you know, it just depends on when my jailbreak comes in. If my jailbreak comes in first, I'll have my jailbreak, I'll have the Hellcat Durango, and I may also still have my Charger wide body. I may not get a TRX. It just depends on if I find a TRX before my jailbreak comes in. But my suggestion to everybody is to do the same that I'm doing. If you don't pay a markup, if you refuse to pay these dealer markups, if everybody stood together and refused to pay dealer markups, they couldn't mark them up. They would have to sell them at MSRP. And that the unfortunate reality is that not everybody's going to do that. And there are going to be people who absolutely refuse to wait, and they're going to snatch it up, and they're going to pay the extra money, and that it is what it is. If you're going to keep a car for life and you're never getting rid of it, and you understand that you're paying more than what the car's worth, you know, the markup's not going to mean a whole lot to you. But I'm always, you know, planning ahead. If I'm going to buy a car, I'm always thinking about what I may do in a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever the case may be. In my lifetime, I've only owned one car for the life of the loan, and it was nothing special, and I ended up loaning it for the life of the loan because I gave it to my mom. I've never driven a car from the day that I bought it till the day the bank got their last check for it. Just haven't happened. So I'm always planning ahead. I'm always thinking about what my next move is going to be, and I try to stay ahead of the curve. Never going to stay ahead of the curve paying markups. So $85,000 is enough money to spend on a truck like that, a special truck like that, but adding an additional artificial $10,000, it's not worth it. I'm not going to pay $95,000 for an $85,000 truck when I can be patient and get it for my price. Or if I'm going to pay $95,000, I want it to be a $95,000 truck. It's that simple. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified for all the videos. I appreciate you guys watching, and y'all take it easy.